A colossal stone wall stands silent. It seems too tight for a single blade of grass. These forgotten megastructures are not just ruins, they are ancient puzzles that challenge our entire understanding of history. By the end of this journey, you will discover 25 architectural marvels that still defy explanation. How did a civilization carve an entire city deep underground, and who built a complex of perfect stone spheres for a purpose now lost to time? What does our inability to fully explain these wonders say about the true capabilities of our ancestors? Deep beneath the rolling hills of Cappadocia lies a hidden metropolis, a labyrinthine city carved not from stone, but from the earth itself. This is Derinkuyu, a place where civilization turned inward, seeking safety in the profound darkness below. Imagine an entire community, thousands of people, living their lives in a vast, multi-level complex that plunged 18 stories into the ground. This was no simple cave. It was a fully functional city, complete with living quarters, stables for livestock, churches for worship, and even sophisticated wine presses. The sheer scale is difficult to comprehend, a testament to an incredible communal effort and a deep understanding of subterranean engineering. Archaeologists remain in awe of its advanced design, particularly the network of ventilation shafts that brought fresh air to the deepest levels, and the massive, circular stone doors, weighing hundreds of kilograms, that could be rolled into place to seal every entrance from the outside world. This was a fortress designed for ultimate protection, but from what? The central mystery of Derinkuyu is not just how it was built, but why and by whom. While often linked to early Christian communities seeking refuge from persecution, the complexity and wear of some sections suggest a far older origin. Some researchers propose the Phrygians carved the first chambers, a people whose history is itself shrouded in the mists of time. How did these ancient architects plan such an intricate structure without modern tools, mapping out airflow, water wells, and support structures in the absolute dark? What persistent, overwhelming threat drove an entire population to abandon the sun and sky for a life underground? The existence of Derinkuyu forces us to reconsider the nature of safety and community in the ancient world, a hidden chapter of human ingenuity written in stone deep below. And as we ponder this city beneath the soil, it leads our curiosity eastward to another ancient puzzle waiting in the jungles. While the builders of Derinkuyu sought refuge in the earth, another ancient project in China's Zhejiang province presents a mystery of pure, monumental effort. In 1992, a local farmer decided to pump water out of a small, seemingly insignificant pond, only to reveal the entrance to a staggering underground world. This was the first of the Longyou caves, a series of colossal hand-carved caverns that had been completely submerged and forgotten for centuries. What they found inside defied all expectations. These are not natural grottos, but immense rectangular spaces, so vast and precise they feel more like the halls of forgotten giants. Each cavern is a breathtaking geometric marvel, supported by massive, evenly spaced stone pillars, with every single surface walls, ceilings, and pillars covered in a uniform pattern of parallel chisel marks. This deliberate, rhythmic decoration reveals an astonishing level of craftsmanship, a signature left by the workers who, with rudimentary tools, excavated an almost unimaginable volume of rock. The numbers are staggering, with an estimated 36,000 cubic meters of sandstone meticulously quarried from each individual cave. Where did all this rock go, and why does no historical record from any known Chinese dynasty even whisper of this monumental undertaking. The silence is deafening. The precision of the 90-degree angles and the sheer organizational feat required suggest a powerful, centralized authority commanding a massive labor force. Yet, this project vanished from memory entirely. Were these spaces intended as tombs for an emperor who never ruled, a secret quarry for a building project that never was, or perhaps a ceremonial complex for rituals now lost to time? The caves offer no inscriptions, no artifacts, only the overwhelming scale of their empty halls and the endless, echoing question of their purpose. This profound silence surrounding such a colossal achievement pushes us to search for answers elsewhere, in the remnants of other cultures who also reshaped their world on a massive scale. High above the ancient Inca capital, the stone walls of Sacsayhuamán grip the mountain ridge like the teeth of a stone giant. These are not simple stacked rocks. They are a monumental jigsaw puzzle carved from limestone boulders so immense that their very presence defies logic. Some of these polygonal blocks weigh well over 100 tons, yet they are fitted together with a seamlessness that stuns the modern mind. The joints between these colossal stones are so precise, so perfectly engineered without a drop of mortar, that the legendary claim persists: you cannot slide a single piece of paper between them. This is more than just masterful stonemasonry. It feels like a form of stone magic. The central, haunting question is not just what this structure was for, though that too is debated, with theories ranging from a formidable fortress to a sacred ceremonial ground. The true, overwhelming mystery is how the Inca achieved this without the wheel, without iron tools, and without a written language to blueprint such a staggering project. How does a civilization move a 100-ton stone up a steep mountain and then sculpt its every contour to match its neighbors with microscopic accuracy? The prevailing theory suggests workers used stone hammers and patient abrasion to slowly shape each block, possibly testing the fit over and over again. But the sheer scale and the undeniable perfection of the zigzagging walls suggest something more, perhaps a lost understanding of stonework, a sophisticated knowledge system that was never recorded. This architectural prowess, this intimate conversation with stone, echoes another ancient culture's achievements far across the globe. Far to the south, beneath the shifting sands of Abydos, rests a structure that seems to belong to a different world entirely. The Osireion, lying in the shadow of the magnificent temple of Seti I, is a profound architectural anomaly. Its core is a haunting, rectangular hall built from colossal blocks of red granite, each one a monolithic slab of breathtaking weight. This central chamber is encircled by a channel of water, creating an artificial island, a design that immediately calls to mind the much older Valley Temple at Giza. Yet here is the puzzle that fractures our understanding of Egyptian history. While officially linked to Pharaoh Seti I, the Osireion style is a complete departure from the elegant, hieroglyph-covered walls of his nearby temple. Its architecture is cyclopean, almost brutalist in its raw power, built with massive, unadorned stones that fit together with a stark, primal precision. It feels ancient in a way that defies the standard timeline. How does this monument of primitive grandeur, seemingly a relic from a forgotten epoch, fit into the polished narrative of the New Kingdom? The most compelling theory suggests it is a cenotaph, a symbolic tomb for the god Osiris, yet its construction raises more questions than it answers. Why would Seti I, a pharaoh known for his exquisite and conventional monuments, commission a building that looks utterly archaic, as if paying homage to a lost building tradition from a much deeper past? The Osireion stands as a silent, stubborn question mark, a piece of a puzzle from a time before recorded history. its true age and purpose submerged not just in water but in mystery. This sense of a timeline out of place pulls our gaze across the ocean to a land where another civilization left behind a landscape of perfect geometric forms. Beneath the clear, blue waters off Japan's Yonaguni Island, a vast shape emerges from the seafloor, a silent form that challenges the very boundary between nature and human artistry. This is the Yonaguni Monument, a massive sandstone formation that has ignited one of the most passionate debates in modern archaeology. Its surfaces are a collection of astonishing features, from wide, flat terraces that resemble plazas to what appear to be perfectly carved staircases with sharp 90-degree angles. Two towering pillars stand together, their straight lines and right angles looking profoundly out of place in a natural underwater landscape. The central question is as simple as it is profound. Is this a masterpiece of geology, or a sunken relic from a civilization lost to time? Marine geologists present a compelling case, explaining that the strong currents in this region can cause sandstone to fracture along its natural bedding planes, potentially creating these seemingly artificial forms. Yet for many who have studied the site, the sheer concentration of so many architectural-looking elements in a single location feels beyond coincidence. The flat platforms, the apparent gateways, and the precise corners all seem to assemble into a deliberate design. If human hands did indeed shape this stone, the implications are staggering. The monument would have been constructed on dry land during the last ice age when sea levels were dramatically lower. This would push the clock for complex society in this part of the world back by thousands of years, suggesting a sophisticated culture that flourished on a now submerged landmass, a potential real-world counterpart to the legend of Mu. The Yonaguni monument rests in a silent, aqueous limbo, its truth obscured by the very ocean that protects it, a riddle as deep and vast as the waters that hold it. This search for meaning in a submerged world finds a strange parallel in a very different jungle, where another culture left behind a landscape of perfect geometric forms that refuse to be explained. Rising from the highveld of southern Africa, the magnificent stone ruins of Great Zimbabwe silently refute a long history of colonial denial. This sprawling complex of dry stone walls and enclosures, built entirely without mortar, was the heart of a powerful kingdom that flourished between the 11th and 15th centuries. Its most iconic and perplexing structure is the Conical Tower, a solid, 30-foot-tall masterpiece of granite brickwork that stands within the great enclosure. This tower contains no chambers, no stairways. It is a completely solid mass of stone, a monumental and deliberate act of construction that consumed vast resources for a purpose we can only guess. Was it a giant grain silo, a symbolic representation of authority, or a focal point for sacred ceremonies? Its true function remains one of archaeology's most enduring puzzles, a testament to a world vastly different from our own. For generations, European settlers, unable to reconcile the complexity of the site with their own prejudices, spun fantastical tales of Phoenician traders or the Queen of Sheba being its architects. They stripped the site of artifacts and propagated a false narrative, all to deny the incredible achievement of the indigenous Shona people. Modern research has completely overturned these colonial myths, confirming Great Zimbabwe as a purely African capital, a hub of gold trade and political power that commanded a vast network stretching to the coasts of the Indian Ocean. The deeper mystery, then, is not who built it, but how its rulers organized a society capable of such a sustained, coordinated effort, quarrying and shaping countless stones to erect walls that curve with graceful, enduring strength. The sophistication of this African capital, a center of commerce and culture that stood for centuries, compels us to look for similar ingenuity elsewhere, to another continent where a different civilization mastered the landscape with its own mysterious, monumental forms. Across the fields of Brittany, a forest of stone rises from the earth in silent, regimented lines. The Karnak alignments are a breathtaking spectacle of prehistoric ambition, a collection of over 3,000 standing stones arranged in dense rows that march across the landscape for miles. This is not a random scattering of boulders. It is a deliberate, sprawling composition erected by a Neolithic culture whose name, language, and gods have evaporated from history. The sheer scale of the site is almost incomprehensible, a testament to a society capable of organizing a labor force to transport and erect thousands of multi-ton megaliths, generation after generation. Why would a community invest such staggering effort into a project that offered no immediate shelter, no fortified defense? The stones themselves offer no written clues, only their silent, imposing presence. Archaeologists have proposed a constellation of theories, each attempting to decode this ancient cipher. Some see the alignments as a gigantic astronomical observatory, where specific rows pointed to the solstice sun or important stars, creating a celestial calendar carved into the earth. Others interpret the site as a sacred processional way, a space for powerful religious rituals that connected the people to the spirit of the land. A more recent, intriguing hypothesis suggests the arrangement could have functioned as an early earthquake detector, with the carefully balanced stones reacting to subtle seismic shifts. Each theory holds a piece of the puzzle, yet the complete picture remains elusive. What shared belief, what profound cosmic or spiritual imperative, was powerful enough to unite a people for centuries, driving them to reshape their entire world with these enduring granite sentinels? The silent rows of Karnak seem to point insistently toward the heavens, a gesture mirrored by another culture's mysterious alignment far across the globe. The sheer scale of the Karnak stones pales before the staggering megaliths of Baalbek. In Lebanon's Bekaa Valley, the magnificent Roman temple of Jupiter rests upon a foundation that presents one of the greatest engineering puzzles of the ancient world. This podium contains the trilithon, 3 colossal limestone blocks, each one estimated to weigh a staggering 800 tons. To put that into perspective, that is the weight of 2 fully loaded jumbo jets for a single stone. Yet even these are overshadowed by a nearby quarry, where a single, abandoned monolith known as the Stone of the Pregnant Woman lies, weighing over 1,000 tons. It is the largest known single piece of stone ever worked by human hands. While the elegant columns of the temple above are a testament to Roman skill, the cyclopean platform upon which they stand is a complete architectural anomaly, its style and scale so vastly different that archaeologists believe it belongs to a much older, far more mysterious epoch. The fundamental question is not how the Romans built their temple, but who built the foundation they built upon. What forgotten civilization possessed the technology to cut, move, and lift stones of such incomprehensible mass? And for what conceivable purpose was this gargantuan foundation originally constructed? The logistics are mind-boggling, requiring a level of coordination and engineering that seems to push against the limits of what we believe was possible millennia before Rome. The scale of Baalbek stands as a silent, stubborn monument to a lost peak of ancient engineering, a mystery as immense as the stones themselves. This obsession with the monumental finds a strange, smaller, yet equally confusing echo on a remote Pacific island, where a different culture carved a landscape of living stone. The silent, watchful Moai of Easter Island are more than just heads. They are the exposed peaks of a much larger mystery. The true megastructure is not the statues scattered along the coast, but the volcanic quarry of Rororoku itself, a mountainside frozen in time. Here, nearly 400 figures remain in various stages of creation, as if the workers simply put down their tools and walked away. They are captured in the act of being born from the rock, their unfinished forms telling a story of astonishing ambition and sudden, inexplicable halt. For generations, we envisioned these monuments as simple heads, but recent excavations have revealed a startling truth. Many of the Moai have full, detailed torsos buried deep underground, some descending over 30 feet into the earth. This completely changes the scale of the achievement, with the largest of them all, a colossus known as El Gigant, lying unfinished in the quarry. Had it been completed, this single statue would have towered 72 feet high and weighed well over 200 tons. The central, haunting question is how the Rapa Nui people, living on a remote and resource-limited island, accomplished this feat. How did they transport these multi-ton giants for miles across rugged terrain and then erect them upon massive stone platforms called ahu? One compelling theory, demonstrated experimentally, suggests the statues were carefully rocked from side to side, making them appear to walk to their coastal perches. Yet, even if this method worked, the sheer organizational effort, the food, the rope, the communal will required for such a project is staggering to contemplate. This leads to the ultimate puzzle: what caused this society to collapse, halting all work and leaving their greatest ambitions half-carved in the mountain? Was it environmental strain from deforestation, internal conflict, or the arrival of outside forces? The silent Moai offer no easy answers, only a powerful lesson in the relationship between a community's grand vision and the fragile world that sustains it. This narrative of a society expressing its identity through monumental architecture finds a stunning parallel in the rose-red ruins of a city carved directly into a desert cliff face. The rose-red city of Petra appears as if a mirage, a magnificent illusion carved from the very heart of the desert. This was the capital of the Nabatean Empire, a civilization that mastered the art of turning barren cliffs into a thriving metropolis. While the iconic facade of the treasury, known as Al-Khosneh, captures every visitor's imagination, the true megastructure is the city itself. An entire urban landscape was sculpted directly into the vibrant sandstone, from its intricate tombs and temples to a massive Roman-style theater that could seat thousands. But the most brilliant engineering feat lies hidden from view. In a region defined by aridity, the Nabateans engineered a complex network of channels, dams, and cisterns that captured precious seasonal rainwater, directing it through a labyrinth of tunnels to supply fountains, baths, and homes. This hydrological mastery transformed a hidden canyon into a lush, defensible oasis, a crossroads for the caravan trade in incense, silk, and spices. The wealth that flowed through its sick or canyon entrance was immense, yet this prosperity raises a profound question. Why did such a powerful and wealthy civilization choose to invest their resources in building so opulently, yet so secretly, within the confines of a nearly inaccessible mountain fortress? The very layout of Petra suggests a desire for both grandeur and concealment, a place where cultural and religious practices, now lost to time, dictated an architecture that was meant to be discovered, not displayed. The city's eventual decline and abandonment only deepened its mystery, allowing the desert sands to swallow it for centuries, a forgotten capital waiting to be found. This theme of a civilization seeking refuge and expression within a mountain finds a powerful and strikingly similar echo in the clouds of South America. This colossal stone fortress rises from the Sri Lankan jungle like a natural skyscraper, a sheer rock face transformed into a king's impossible dream. Sigiriya is more than a palace, it is a vertical city, a testament to human ambition carved into the very sky. In the 5th century, King Cassiopeia chose this 200-meter-high monolith as the site for his royal citadel, a decision that seems both paranoid and profoundly arrogant. The base of the rock is surrounded by some of the world's oldest surviving landscaped gardens, a symmetric paradise of pools, fountains, and canals that still function today, channeling water through a complex system of underground pressure. The ascent begins, leading past a mirrored wall so brilliantly polished that the king could see his reflection as he walked, its surface now covered in ancient graffiti, messages from visitors who marveled at this place over 1,000 years ago. Further up, sheltered in a pocket of the cliff, are the breathtaking Sigiriya frescoes, vibrant portraits of celestial maidens whose origins and meaning remain beautifully unclear. The final climb involves traversing a narrow pathway nestled between two massive lions' paws, the last remnants of what was once a gigantic lion statue guarding the summit. And at the top, the ruins of the palace itself, a leveled plateau with foundations of royal baths, throne rooms, and sophisticated cisterns that collected rainwater for those living in the clouds. The logistical nightmare of hauling all the necessary building materials, including the massive bricks and mortar, up this near-vertical rock face is almost beyond comprehension. It represents a staggering mobilization of labor and engineering genius. This leads to the central mystery of Sigiriya. Was it purely a fortified palace for a king fearful of retribution, or was its dramatic presence intended to project a far deeper idea? Its dominance over the landscape suggests it was designed as a symbolic axis of the world, a place where the king was not just a ruler, but a godlike figure bridging the earth and the heavens. The very need to build so high, to separate oneself so completely from the world below, speaks to a powerful mix of fear, spirituality, and absolute power. This aerial grandeur, this desire to command a view from the heavens, finds a strange parallel in our next mystery, one that can only be understood from an equally impossible vantage point. The vast desert plains of southern Peru hold a gallery of giants, a collection of artworks so immense they can only be comprehended from the heavens. These are the Nazca lines, an enigmatic network of hundreds of geometric shapes and intricate figures etched into the dry earth. Creatures like a hummingbird with wings outstretched, a sprawling spider, and a curious monkey with a coiled tail are rendered on a scale that defies human vision from the ground. Each line was created through a remarkably simple yet painstaking process, by carefully removing the top layer of dark, sun-baked pebbles to expose the lighter-colored sand beneath. This technique created a stunning visual contrast, but it also poses the central, enduring puzzle. The creators, the Nazca people who flourished here between 500 years before the Common Era and 500 years after, never saw their work as we do. They walked among these lines, unable to perceive the colossal spider or the perfect trapezoids they were creating. So how did they achieve such breathtaking precision and scale without an aerial perspective? Archaeologists suggest they may have used a system of scaled-down models and a simple grid system, transferring the design step by step across the vast landscape. This demonstrates an incredible capacity for abstract planning and communal coordination, a shared vision held in the minds of hundreds of workers directed by a master plan none of them could fully see. This leads to the deeper question of purpose. What belief system was so powerful, so compelling, that it drove a culture to transform hundreds of square miles of their world into a canvas for figures only the gods could view? While sensational theories of extraterrestrial runways have captured the public imagination, most scholars point to a more grounded yet equally profound explanation rooted in survival. In this brutally arid environment, water was the ultimate deity. The lines and figures are now widely believed to be part of an elaborate religious practice, a form of ceremonial pleading to the mountain gods for the gift of water and fertility. The geoglyphs may have served as ritual pathways for processions, their scale and permanence a testament to the desperation and hope of an entire people. The lines were not meant for human eyes, but as a message to the celestial beings who controlled the rains, a permanent prayer written across the desert floor. This profound act of landscape modification, a dialogue between earth and sky, finds a strange and beautiful parallel in another culture's attempt to bridge the human and the divine. The grid of Teotihuacan spreads across the valley with a mathematical precision that feels unnervingly modern. This was a metropolis designed by a master planner, its central artery, the Avenue of the Dead, running for miles and flanked by monumental platforms and temples that lead the eye toward two colossal peaks, the Pyramid of the Moon and the even larger Pyramid of the Sun. Constructed from over 1 million cubic meters of adobe brick, the Pyramid of the Sun is a mountain made by human hands, a project of such staggering volume that it speaks to a society capable of commanding the labor of thousands for generations. The entire city was a marvel of urban planning, filled with sophisticated multi-family apartment compounds that suggest a stratified yet highly organized community. Yet the most profound mystery of Teotihuacan is not etched into its stones. It is the utter silence that surrounds its creators. We do not know what they called themselves, the name of their language, or the identity of their rulers. By the time the Aztecs stumbled upon this place, it was already an ancient, empty shell, a city of ghosts they named Teotihuacan, meaning the place where the gods were created. How does a civilization of such immense power and influence, one that shaped the cultural landscape of ancient Mesoamerica, vanish without leaving a single written record of its own name? Its sudden collapse around the middle of the 6th century remains one of history's great enigmas. Was it internal rebellion, a catastrophic failure of its agricultural system, or an invasion that left no clear trace? The silence is as monumental as the pyramids themselves, a void that compels us to search for echoes of its lost voice in the remnants of other, equally mysterious cultures. Just when we believed the timeline of human progress was settled, a hilltop in southeastern Turkey reveals a story that rewrites our entire history. Göbekli Tepe is not merely an ancient site, it is a profound anomaly. Constructed around 9,600 years before the Common Era, its massive circular enclosures predate stone, henge by over 6,000 years, and the Great Pyramid by a staggering 7 millennia. But the true shock lies not in its age but in its builders. This complex of towering T-shaped limestone pillars, some weighing 20 tons, was erected by hunter-gatherers, people we have always believed were nomadic, living hand to mouth, incapable of such a sustained, colossal undertaking. The pillars are arranged in precise circles, their surfaces adorned with intricate, masterful carvings of foxes, boars, scorpions, and vultures, a stone menagerie frozen in time. This single site shatters the long-held foundational belief of archaeology that humanity had to first invent agriculture, settle down in villages, and produce a food surplus before it could even conceive of large-scale projects. Göbekli Tepe turns this sequence completely on its head. Here, it seems the impulse to build something monumental, driven by a powerful, shared spiritual belief, may have actually been the catalyst that forced people to settle, to organize, and perhaps even to begin cultivating crops to feed the workers and pilgrims. This suggests that the temple came before the town, that organized religion may be the true mother of civilization. This revelation is stunning enough, but it is followed by an even deeper mystery. Around 8,000 years before the Common Era, after more than 1,000 years of use, Göbekli Tepe was not abandoned. It was meticulously and deliberately buried. Every one of its stone circles was filled with earth, stone, and animal bones, an act of interment that preserved the site perfectly until its modern discovery. Why would a people who invested generations of back-breaking labor into this sacred place choose to entomb it? Was it a ritual to deconsecrate the site, a protective measure against a forgotten threat, or did the belief system that built it simply transform into something new? The silent, buried pillars of Göbekli Tepe stand as a monumental question mark at the very dawn of society, forcing us to ask not just how we built our world, but why we began in the first place. Amidst the sprawling stone foundations of the Hittite capital, a single object distills the entire mystery of a lost empire into one smooth, silent form. The green stone of Hattusa is a large, perfectly polished slab of nephrite jade, resting in what was once a great temple. Its surface is unmarked by any carving, its edges precise, its green hue cool and deep. This was no ordinary building block. It was a revered object placed deliberately in a sacred space at the heart of a powerful kingdom. Yet, in all the extensive records left by the Hittites, a people who meticulously documented their laws, their treaties, and their religious rituals, there is not a single mention of this stone. Its very existence is a historical whisper, a secret kept from the future. The practical questions are perplexing enough. Nephrite is an incredibly hard stone, difficult to carve even with modern tools. How did ancient artisans achieve such a flawless, glassy polish? Furthermore, this type of stone is not native to the region, meaning it was transported over a vast distance, a significant undertaking for an object whose purpose was purely ceremonial, not structural. This leads to the profound, unanswerable question of its function. Was it a throne base for a deity, an altar for libations, a symbolic representation of the earth's fertility, or perhaps a focal point for divination rituals? Its quiet presence is a tangible reminder that for all the clay tablets we can translate, the most intimate textures of ancient belief, the objects that held their most potent symbolic power can remain utterly opaque to us. The green stone is a monument in miniature, proving that the grandest mysteries are not always measured in scale, but in the depth of our ignorance. This concept of a hidden, purpose-driven network finds its ultimate expression in a labyrinth that stretches for miles beneath the feet of an entire region. Beneath the quiet streets of modern Malta lies a sanctuary of silence and sound, a world turned entirely inward. The Hal Saflieni Hypogeum is a labyrinth of darkness, a multi-level complex carved with painstaking effort from the island's solid limestone over 3 centuries, beginning around 3,300 years before the Common Era. It is a place of profound duality, serving simultaneously as a final resting place for thousands and as a ceremonial sanctuary for the living. Its architects recreated the entire universe of their above-ground temples underground, carving out false windows, doorways, and even stone beams in a perfect imitation of the megalithic world they knew. But the hypogeum holds a secret that transcends its stone walls, a property that turns architecture into experience. This is a structure you do not just see, you hear. Certain chambers within the complex are acoustic marvels, designed to resonate at specific, powerful frequencies. A single spoken word can be amplified into a reverberating hum that travels through the stone, a vibration that seems to penetrate the body itself. Research has shown these frequencies can directly influence human brain waves, potentially guiding the mind into states of deep meditation or heightened awareness. The central, haunting question is not just who built this, but what did they know? Was this sophisticated sonic environment intended for ritual chanting, a form of prehistoric spiritual technology designed to connect with the divine? Could it have been used for healing, or perhaps to carefully induce altered states of consciousness for a select few? The level of planning required is staggering, suggesting the builders possessed a deep, intuitive understanding of sound physics and its effect on human psychology, knowledge that was then encoded directly into the living rock. This was not merely a tomb, it was a machine for the mind and spirit, its true purpose echoing now only as a faint, mysterious whisper in the dark. The pursuit of such perfect, resonant forms finds a different, yet equally mysterious, expression in the jungles of Costa Rica. Scattered across the Diquis Delta, hundreds of stone spheres rest with a quiet, geometric perfection that feels out of place in the jungle. Crafted by a pre-Columbian society known as the Diquis culture, these objects range from the size of a simple fruit to colossal orbs over 2 meters across, weighing several tons. Their sheer spherical precision is what stops archaeologists in their tracks. Using only stone tools, these ancient artisans shaped incredibly hard gabbro rock into forms that are up to 96% perfect spheres, a level of accuracy that seems to demand metal tools and mathematical knowledge they supposedly never had. The process remains a profound puzzle. How do you achieve such symmetry, such a flawless curve, with nothing but a hammerstone? Experts suggest the makers might have used a system of heating and cooling the rock to create fracture lines, then painstakingly pecking and grinding the surface smooth, perhaps constantly checking the form with a dangling cord or a calibrated frame. The sheer, patient effort for just one sphere is staggering to consider, let alone for hundreds, but the greater mystery is why. What powerful idea compelled an entire culture to invest so much labor into creating a landscape of perfect stone balls? Many were arranged in alignments, suggesting they could have been a gigantic astronomical calendar, marking solstices or equinoxes. Others theorize they were symbols of power and status, placed near the homes of chiefs to project authority. Some see them as representations of celestial bodies, a map of the cosmos made solid here on Earth. Tragically, the true meaning has been almost erased. During 20th century agricultural expansion, many of the spheres were dragged from their original positions by tractors, completely destroying their ancient arrangements and severing our last tangible link to their purpose. Their pervasive yet cryptic presence echoes a universal human drive, seen from the pyramids to Göbekli Tepe, to encode our understanding of the universe into mathematically significant forms. This same drive for permanence and meaning is etched into the cliffs of another continent, where a king's tribute to his god was carved to last for eternity. The descent into Chand Bayori feels like walking into a geometric dream. In the Indian village of Abhanri, this is not a simple well. It is a colossal inverted pyramid carved into the earth, a staircase to the water table comprising 3,500 narrow steps. These steps plunge 13 stories down, arranged with such breathtaking symmetry that the entire structure becomes a hypnotic visual pattern, a masterpiece of architectural precision built in the 9th century. While its primary function was practical, providing a reliable water source for the community in an arid climate, the sheer audacity of its design speaks to a purpose far beyond mere utility. The steps create a cool microclimate at the base, offering a sanctuary from the oppressive heat, transforming a daily chore into a social and spiritual experience. Why would a society invest such immense effort carving this monumental staircase into the ground when a simple, deep well would have sufficed? The answer seems to lie in the intersection of the practical and the profound. The stepwell was likely a vibrant community hub, a place where people gathered not just to collect water, but to socialize, to rest, and to engage in rituals that honored water as a sacred, life-giving force. The myriad steps could have served as seating for ceremonies, their rhythmic descent mirroring a spiritual journey into the earth's nourishing depths. This architectural marvel reflects a world view where every element of life, even the most basic need for water, was intertwined with beauty, community, and the divine. Its intricate descent mirrors our own journey into the depths of another ancient puzzle, one that also challenges the line between fortress and sanctuary. The sheer walls of Ollantaytambo rise from Peru's sacred valley like a staircase built for giants. This fortress complex represents an Inca engineering challenge of almost unimaginable difficulty. High on Temple Hill, you will find a collection of massive red porphyry blocks, each one a monolithic slab weighing more than 50 tons. These stones were not quarried locally. They were hauled from a mountainside across the valley, requiring a journey that involved descending one steep slope, crossing the churning Yorubamba River, and then being dragged up the near-vertical incline to their current resting place. The logistical nightmare of moving these multi-ton stones up such a sharp ascent defies easy explanation. How did they accomplish this without wheels or draft animals? The prevailing theory suggests the Incas constructed enormous earthen ramps, a temporary landscape of soil and stone, to slowly inch these blocks into position using manpower, ropes, and rollers. The coordination of labor must have been breathtaking, a symphony of collective effort directed by master planners. Yet this only deepens the mystery, for the site itself holds a secret. The foundational stonework at Ollantaytambo is a tale of two styles. The upper sections display the classic, precise polygonal masonry the Incas are famous for, but beneath it lie much older, cyclopean foundations featuring even larger, more crudely shaped megaliths. This has led to compelling speculation that the Incas were not the original architects, but rather brilliant inheritors who repurposed the work of a far older, megalithic culture whose name is lost to time. The fortress stands as a hybrid monument, its stones whispering of layered histories and a forgotten chapter of construction. This theme of one civilization building upon the legacy of another is a thread that connects many of our enigmatic sites. The silent, unopened mound of the first emperor of Qin holds its secrets tighter than any fortress, while the terracotta army stands as his eternal guard, a mere hint of the grandeur placed outside his tomb. The true megastructure lies hidden beneath a vast man-made hill. Ancient texts speak of a breathtaking subterranean world within, a miniature replica of his earthly kingdom, complete with palaces and constellations of pearls on the ceiling to mimic the night sky. The most astonishing claim describes rivers and seas of shimmering, liquid mercury, flowing in a perpetual, toxic current. Modern science has confirmed a piece of this legend, with geochemical surveys detecting extraordinarily high levels of mercury in the soil surrounding the mound, a finding that lends eerie credibility to the 2,000-year-old accounts. This confirmation only deepens the central, tantalizing mystery. What other wonders are preserved in that sealed, dark space? The ancient chronicles also warn of elaborate, deadly traps, crossbows set to fire automatically at any intruder, a final defense for an emperor who sought to rule a second empire in the afterlife. The technological ingenuity required to create such a self-sustaining, booby-trapped environment is staggering to consider. This presents a profound and timeless dilemma for archaeologists, a choice between knowledge and preservation. To open the tomb would be to risk its immediate degradation, the potential loss of fragile artifacts and organic materials to the air and light they have been shielded from for millennia. So the mound remains sealed, a capsule of unimaginable history, its treasures and truths protected by their own toxic legend. This respect for a sealed ancient mystery resonates with another enigmatic complex, one that lies beneath the sun-drenched island of Crete. Dotting the sun-baked landscape of Sardinia stand more than 7,000 stone towers, silent sentinels of a civilization that time has almost forgotten. These are the Nurag colossal beehive structures built from massive basalt blocks fitted together without a single drop of mortar. Each one is a fortress in its own right, a labyrinth of chambers and spiral staircases corkscrewing up into the dark. Many are not isolated towers, but form sprawling, interconnected complexes, the heart of larger settlements where entire villages once thrived. The sheer number of these structures speaks to a society that defined itself through stone, investing generations of labor into this monumental, island-wide project. Yet, for all their imposing presence, the Nuragic people remain a profound enigma. We do not know the sound of their language, the names of their leaders, or the specific gods they worship. Their entire story is told through these silent towers. Why did this culture commit so completely to such an architecture? Were the Nurag a desperate response to relentless threats, a network of clan strongholds built for defense in a time of internal strife? Or were they something else entirely, not just fortresses but symbols of power and control, the centers of a sophisticated trade network that connected Sardinia to the wider Bronze Age world? Their pervasive yet cryptic legacy is a civilization known almost exclusively through its architecture, a haunting reminder of how much can be lost and how a society's greatest monuments can outlast the very memory of the people who built them. From these enigmatic towers, our search for lost histories turns to a different kind of structure, one that served not as a fortress for the living, but as a gateway for the departed. Rising directly from a shallow lagoon, the city of Nan Madol appears like a mirage of geometric order imposed upon the chaos of the jungle. This is a Venice built not on water, but of it, a labyrinth of about 100 artificial islands constructed from colossal basalt logs and coral rubble, all laced together by a network of silent tidal canals. The very substance of the city is its first great puzzle. These are not simple river stones, but immense prismatic columns, each one a multi-ton geometric marvel quarried from the other side of the island. The architectural feat of transporting these colossal logs of solid rock across the water and then stacking them in crisscrossing patterns to form stable platforms and walls is a staggering achievement that defies simple explanation. Local legend speaks of two sorcerer architects who used magical incantations to make the stones fly through the air to their resting place, a poetic explanation for a process that seems to border on the impossible. The historical reality that the Sordelor dynasty accomplished this without metal tools, without pulleys, and without the wheel forces us to confront the limits of our understanding. The labor must have been monumental, requiring the coordinated effort of generations to wrest these stones from the earth and guide them across the sea, likely on rafts or floating platforms, a slow-motion ballet of immense weight and precarious balance. This leads to the deeper, haunting question that hangs over these silent canals. Why would a society invest such unimaginable effort to build a massive administrative and religious center here, on this remote island? The very isolation of Nan Madol suggests it was intended as a place set apart, a ceremonial capital designed to concentrate the power of the ruling elite and separate them physically and spiritually from the common population. Its water-bound nature was not an obstacle but a feature, a natural moat that reinforced its sacred and exclusive status. Yet for all its grandeur, the city was abandoned abruptly. What caused the collapse of the Sordelor dynasty and the flight from this engineered wonder? Was it a revolt against oppressive rulers, an ecological crisis as the intricate canal system silted up, or the arrival of outside challengers? The ruins offer no clear answers, standing only as a testament to a unique and powerful island culture whose ambition ultimately outpaced the resources of their paradise. This vision of a civilization defined by its relationship with the water finds a strange and massive parallel on the other side of the world. The legend of a city reclaimed by the ocean is a powerful echo across cultures, but off the coast of Gujarat, it may be more than just a story. Beneath the waves near modern Dwarka lies a submerged landscape that directly challenges the boundary between myth and history. Hindu scriptures describe the ancient city of Dwarka in glorious detail, the celestial kingdom of Lord Krishna, a place of immense wealth and architectural splendor that was said to have vanished beneath the sea after his passing. For centuries, this was considered a beautiful allegory. Then, marine archaeologists began to find stones. The seabed here is scattered with the remains of a substantial settlement, large stone blocks, intricately carved pillars, and the clear foundations of fortification walls, all lying in the silent, watery deep. The sheer scale of these submerged ruins points to a sophisticated and prosperous port city, one that clearly met a catastrophic end. The central, fiery debate revolves around time. When did this city exist? Some researchers, analyzing artifacts recovered from the site, have proposed dates as astonishingly early as 7,500 years before the Common Era. If accurate, this would place the origins of this settlement in a time frame parallel with the very dawn of civilization in Mesopotamia, rewriting the timeline of Indian urban development entirely. Others offer more conservative estimates, suggesting a later but still ancient port that thrived and was eventually consumed by rising sea levels around 3,500 years ago. This scientific disagreement is the heart of the mystery. Are we looking at the physical bones of Krishna's legendary Dwarka, a confirmation of a spiritual narrative that has endured for millennia? Or are these the silent ruins of a different, historically forgotten maritime power, a real city whose dramatic submergence simply inspired the myth? The sunken stones do not say. They rest as a tangible bridge between faith and evidence, a puzzle where diving equipment and ancient scriptures search for the same truth. This profound interplay of legend and stone is a thread that connects to our final forgotten megastructure. Across the misty highlands of Laos, the earth is dotted with immense stone vessels, silent and solitary. The Plain of Jaws presents a landscape of profound mystery, where thousands of these carved containers, some standing 3 meters tall and weighing many tons, are arranged in sprawling clusters. They were created by an Iron Age society, yet their true purpose was carried to the grave with them. The prevailing theory suggests they served a deeply ceremonial role in honoring the departed, possibly as part of a multi-stage process where individuals would be placed inside, allowing natural cycles to complete their work before final burial. This practice, while difficult for some to contemplate, reflects a distinct cultural view of the journey after life, a respectful return to the elements. Yet this is only an interpretation. No definitive proof has been found within the jars themselves to confirm this funerary purpose. The logistical puzzles are just as deep. How did this culture, with simple tools, quarry such massive blocks of sandstone and granite, and then transport them across miles of rugged terrain to their final positions? The sheer number of jars and the tremendous effort required for just one speaks of a powerful, unifying tradition that bound this society together for generations. What shared belief was so strong that it compelled them to reshape their entire world into a vast memorial landscape? The jars stand as lonely sentinels, guarding the secrets of a people whose name, language, and social structure have completely vanished from memory. This contemplation of ancient memorials and their silent stones leads us to our final forgotten megastructure, another enigma built around the sacred customs of a lost civilization. A monumental marble facade guards the entrance to a secret buried within a man-made hill in northern Greece. The tomb of Amphipolis at Casta Hill is a burial mound of staggering proportions, one of the largest ever unearthed in the region, a final resting place constructed with breathtaking opulence in the 4th century before the Common Era. Inside, past the imposing entrance, explorers found a series of chambers adorned with intricate, vibrant mosaics and sculptures of sphinxes and caryatids, all whispering of immense wealth and power. The architectural brilliance is undeniable, a masterpiece of the Macedonian period. Yet the central, consuming mystery of Amphipolis is not its beauty, but the profound silence at its heart. Who was deemed important enough to warrant such a monumental send-off? The sheer cost and scale point directly to the highest echelons of power, to the inner circle of Alexander the Great himself. Was this the tomb of his wife, Roxana, or his formidable mother, Olympias, or perhaps a beloved general or a revered noble whose name is now lost? The debate among historians is intense, fueled by the complete absence of any inscription, any definitive clue that would name the individual honored here. Why go to such extravagant lengths to build a memorial of this magnitude, only to conceal the identity of the person it commemorates? This deliberate obscurity is as calculated as the tomb's construction. It speaks to a period of great political turmoil, a time when declaring allegiance or lineage could be dangerous, even in death. The unanswered questions of Amphipolis serve as a powerful reminder that the classical world, for all we think we know, still holds profound secrets close. It demonstrates that history is not a solved puzzle, but a conversation with the past, where the most important answers are sometimes the ones forever withheld. These recurring patterns across the globe form a puzzle far greater than any single ruin. A profound mystery echoes from the seamless stones of Sacsayhuamán to the celestial alignments of Karnak, a whisper of lost technologies and sophisticated knowledge that seems to flicker in and out of history. How did cultures separated by vast oceans and millennia achieve such impossible precision in stone cutting, creating joints that mock modern tools and alignments that track the heavens with mathematical grace? This points not to a single advanced civilization, but to the sobering possibility that complex understanding can be gained and then utterly forgotten, leaving behind only silent, stubborn monuments as evidence of a peak we no longer comprehend. Beyond the how, the why resonates even deeper. From the life-giving stepwells of India to the prayer-filled deserts of Nazca, these structures reveal a universal human drive, a need to build not just for shelter, but for the spirit. They are physical manifestations of a collective belief so powerful it could command generations of labor, a shared dream carved into the very bones of the earth to communicate with the divine, to mirror the cosmos, or to send a message of identity across the abyss of time to us, their distant descendants. The true legacy of these 25 forgotten megastructures is this humbling realization that our historical record is filled with silent chapters, and that entire sagas of human ingenuity can rise, flourish, and vanish, leaving behind only enigmatic stones to tell their story. Our journey through these 25 forgotten megastructures uncovers a world far more complex and ingenious than our history books often portray. We have wandered from the dark, protective depths of Derinkuyu to the sunken geometric forms off Yonaguni, and from the celestial alignments at Karnak to the cloud-piercing ambition of Sigiriya. Each site stands as a powerful testament to human ambition, a deep spiritual belief, and an uncanny mastery over the environment. These are not just ruins, they are the physical echoes of a shared human drive to build, to reach, and to communicate with forces greater than ourselves. The enduring mysteries they present are far more than academic puzzles. They are open invitations for us to remain curious, to continually question the established narratives of our past. They ask us to appreciate the profound and resilient legacy of human creativity that spans every continent and every epoch. As the researcher Graham Hancock once reflected, we are a species with amnesia. These silent stones, these colossal spheres, and these buried temples are the scattered fragments of a story we have only just begun to remember. Let this exploration be a starting point for your own curiosity. We would love to hear from you. Which of these ancient wonders confounds you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe to continue unraveling the secrets of our past together.